Hello again, friends. Welcome back to twitch.tv/TrooperBerry, and welcome back to more of the Long Dark, where our pursuit of surviving 1,000 days continues. We're just about to get, we're working on day 592. And last time, we did finally get the achievement for pushing Trader Trust to maximum. Took longer than I expected, but we got it done. So, we also went and we retrieved the Hunter revolver and and Vaughn's rifle. So now the only firearm variant we're missing, we found, but we don't have on us in the Quonset, is Barb's rifle. We're gonna go get that. Problem is, we're in Coastal Highway, and if memory serves, it is in Forsaken Airfield. So we got a long trip ahead of us. So we better get started. Yeah. Astrid is, well, I've been working her hard the past couple days in game. We've been having her, do like multiple late night shuttle runs to misanthropes to complete trades. So now that all that is done, I think we might let her take it easy today. Yeah, because I think she went to bed well past midnight, which is not good for her sleep hygiene. So what we might do is see if we can maybe knock together a fresh bow. I'm probably too fastidious about that though. We got like what 50 some odd percent. Yeah, it's probably fine. Hey B, good morning to you. How you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you dropping by. Hope your weekend's going well. Let's see, what are we going to get up to? Just to, am I, okay, how much shooting are we expecting to do? Ooh, okay, too much.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yeah, ideally we don't have to do much shooting over Oot Scoot and a Boot at all, but, you know, the game doesn't really telegraph that, does it? And welcome in, Will. How's things? Are you, yeah, you're back at work by now, aren't you? I think you made mention of that on Daunt's Discord. We do everyone is having a lovely weekend and a good start to 2026 as much as one can anyway. Wait, why am I crouch walking? I can actually shoot while crouched. Oh, boo. Boo, I say. All right, well, we wanted something to do today. We're gonna go find that doe. Yeah, it's gonna run off into the hills. Well, I mean, there's no hills out there. I mean, we have archery 5. It should bleed out before too long. And there's only so far it can go. The ocean is just over that ridge. You get back Friday. Okay. Okay, okay, I saw its head pop up. It's like it's gonna go prancing about misanthropes. Say, yeah, and I the yeah, and this right here, this is why I generally don't hunt deer unless I absolutely positively need to. They're just a pain. Because you can't get like right close to them because they're skittish even if you're crouched. They'll run off. But if you shoot from too far away, then you don't land a good enough hit, and they run off with your arrow, as we have seen. Okay, so yeah, the getting Barb's rifle is on the checklist. What else? Wait, Sutherland is still out there. My God, man. Don't you have like looting runs to do? But oh yeah, the other thing I would like to do is start making. I heard a deer. I don't know if it's our deer, but I don't want to make the. I want to make the furniture workbench. No, no, we're shooting into the ocean. Are you my deer? I can't even tell. I don't see any blood splatter, so it's probably not. Anyway, want to make the furniture workbench so I can then make the curing box. Actually, here. Fucking hell! I yanked it at the last second. There's my other. Well, good, good thing I used the manufactured ones. Hey, Melderon. Yep. Because we've now, at long last, we finally have the recipe for pemmican. So I have a reason to make the curing box, or at least more of a reason. No, that's a wolf. Wolves are not deer. Well, I'm glad you were amused, Will. Oh, interesting. I don't. Yeah, if you've got fire-hardened arrows, it gives you the little reminder down the bottom to hit R to change your ammo. But if you've got the manufactured arrows, apparently that's not a thing. I hear it. Yeah, I'm due. Yeah, that's most likely not our deer because there is an arrow stuck in that deer, and I feel pretty certain it would have bled out by now. This is probably a misanthrope deer, and then the other deer we actually engaged, over there by the docks. But maybe this one has annoyed me just enough. See, again, spotted from there. Wait, hang on. What are... Oh, there you are. There's our deer. And it died on a inaccessible hillside. Of course it did. It's the long dark. Okay, well, you get to live for now. Exactly, B. Yeah, it's sunk like halfway into the dang thing. So it's clearly soft snow. Yeah, I can't get back up this slope. I'm going to take all this now. Like, the game does not want me on this slope. Well, too bad, I say. I'm here.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
And that dough is all mine. So, yeah. We get some stream time. No worries. We love our lurkers here. And yet, lurkers are the backbone of the Twitch economy. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take that meat all the way there. I did say for now. You fix your redeems. Nice. Well done. Okay. Let me move the guts. And the fat. Are you serious? Let's see, can I get the guts before we get cold? But thank you for that, B. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a struggle at times, but I feel good about where we are. Okay. And no, 8 kilograms of meat, that's probably a bit too much to harvest in an actual blizzard. So let's not. So we'll take this, we'll drop off the hides and guts inside misanthropes, and we'll come back, we'll get the meat after, and then beachcombing. Yeah, one of my favorite activities here in this most coastal of highways. Yeah, I think I might just leave the deer meat back here. In case Sutherland has a hankering for venison at some point. He never seems that picky. Yeah, unless he specifically asks for fish. Oh, you're fine. there. See? Didn't even get a red meter. Okay, we'll leave 2 deer there. And we'll just add to the gut pile here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, rabbit, 2 deer, and then 28 guts. We might have to rearrange these hides when we start our crafting sesh here, but that's gonna be a bit yet. Let's see. Ketchup chips. Lunch of Canadian champions. Okay, and then we'll see how long this blizzard lasts before we can go beachcombing. Marty, that? Oh, thank you, Melderon. Yeah, it's I've been told my method of note taking is triggering for some people, but I think it's just for me. I find it's better if I just have everything in one place. All right, it's going on for a bit. Any repairs we can do? We can touch up our gauntlets right here. There we go. And everything else seems to be pretty okay. Okay, bow's at 53%. I'm half tempted to make a fresh one before we go, but the thing is, I have like 5 or 6 in bows like 50 to 60% range that are just scattered all over the world. I really should use one of those to breaking point before I make another. Yeah, and I will. I'm not always like I don't always like keep it like bang on up to date, but I do. At least it gives me an idea. Like if I need crafting materials, I know where to look. If I say, oh, I need some food and water, where do I look? Oh no, can't do that. Must be made of plastic. Uh, yeah, we probably shouldn't sleep anymore. But I hate passing time, especially when we don't need to. This does appear to be a reasonably robust blizzard, unfortunately. Really, we're still blizzarding, huh? Yep, we sure are. Hmm. Oh, stop it. You guys playing each, you try to make notes one each day. Kill a bear. Oh, when you kill a bear or a moose, like which one it was, you gotta go back and see when they respawn. And that's not a bad idea either. Yeah, there's not a lot, not like a day specific. It's like as at one point I would have like bear or moose hide down this day, so I know I can 10 to 12 days, come back and check on it. I think I have stopped doing that. There we go. Not out of any, like, strategic reasons. It's mostly just the notepad is cluttered as it is. I figure, at this point, they respawn when they respawn. Okay, careful. And there is beachcombing to be had, but I'm more interested in getting all that delicious venison where it needs to be. Hey, Rain, good to see ya. Welcome, welcome. Hope your weekend's going well. Oh yeah, I think you had your stream title yesterday said you were celebrating getting a job, so congrats to you. Hopefully it's a good one and they treat you well there. Now, where did I leave my dear? And hey, Sylvius, welcome in. Here we are. Okay, weather slowly improving. How are we? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take this first deer worth of meat.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
You're going to drop it back at Misanthrope's. How about that? After 6 months. Oh, yeah, that is a lot of fun employment to deal with. Well, I'm glad to hear things turned around for you. As Melanie said, for that you're leaving notes on these specific days instead of the general note. Oh, right, yeah. I've seen people do that, and that does make a lot of sense. I would probably forget that I used that bit instead of the actual notes. Okay, and Sutherland has finally moved on. He was out here like for days, just out there in the open, no aurora or anything. It took a blizzard to finally chase him off. Okay, we'll get our venison pile going here. Oh, that cleared up nicely. I tell you what, while we're here, we'll give our streamer friends a good proper welcome here.
Thank God. Whew, that was close.
Like the interloper, I had to be a lot more disciplined. I'm just not a disciplined player. I suppose I can be, but it sort of stresses me out. Like,
Megan, you guys play the game? Am I Elder on?
This round I haven't worried a bit. I dropped matches. My matches way too much. Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, indeed. But you left that save at the start of the healing plane for broken ribs. Ah. Well, there you go. You got yourself a nice little challenge. But as long as you're, say, not stuck in you're not stuck in the ravine, say, without the proper painkillers, you'll probably be fine. As an old clip? Yeah, I think I saw that was the color scheme for killer tuna still.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, no, Astrid. I'm being absolutely terrible to you, but just all I need you to do is just matriculate this venison over to the pile. Then we can go home, and I'll give you a nice fish dinner, and you can have a big old full sleep. No traitor. No Sutherland of any kind. Promise. Love a good DP hang. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a nice. Yeah, we're in coastal at the moment, but yeah, I agree. You know, DP is a nice place just to hang out and chill, especially if you're not having to tiptoe around the moose on the rock. Because I know Concerned Martian had some issues with that one recently.
I could eat a horse.
I'll let you eat a fish, but that's the best I can do. Okay, yeah, we'll drop the fat off front. We'll head back, and then tomorrow, conditions. Well, no, it's just beachcombing. Relax. But then what's the rush? You know, unfortunately, there's no achievement waiting for us when we get Barb's rifle, because the game has rudely said no. Apparently, this save is too old, and some or maybe all of the firearm variants got treated as like a regular revolver or rifle. So for whatever reason, it doesn't trigger the achievement on Steam. Oh well. But at least I can have the moral satisfaction of knowing I've got them all in one place. And I will take a screenshot when I do, and I will post it to Hinterland, and I will say, please fix. I know you have nothing else going on right now. But yeah, this is an achievement focused run, and I've been calling our girl Achievement Astrid because I started her way back in December of 2022. Just try to chase down the final achievements I had, or that I had yet to get, and it was like it was a good number of them. It was like exploration games, Stone Age Sniper, as well as like the big ones, Faithful Cartographer, and The Will to Live. And for a while, TLD was one of my 100%ed games on Steam, along with Subnautica, Hades 1, and there's one other one that I'm forgetting at the moment.
I'm getting tired.
But then the trader update came and blew that all to heck. But it also gave us some new cheevos to chase, and we get to interact with our good friend Sutherland. There you are. Nope. There you are. There's the big one. That's a 2,500 calorie salmon right there. And Astrid ate it all. I can't believe I ate the whole thing. There we go. Yeah, I'm not shy about busting that out. All right, we are low on water. We'll have to grab some of that before we head out on the morrow. But will it get us through the night? Probably. Tell you what, let's sleep 9. And we'll see where we are. Hello, Goofy. Welcome in. Guess. You persuaded building management to open not just your window, but every single window in the building. Or you're going to resub for 20 months. Okay. Well, I'll accept that backup option. Thank you, Goofy. I do appreciate that. Okay, let's get fully rested, and then we'll. There we go. And we're about to lose our well drank, which is unfortunate. But I tell you what I'm gonna do. We're gonna be brave. We're gonna be bold. We're gonna leave here with a not quite mint condition bow. $53. Hey, you know what? I'm going to use the woodwright bow because I'm feeling fancy. Okay, so we got repair mats. We got some. We don't really need fishing tackle, but I suppose I'll take one just in case. We do have some lantern fuel, and we have a goodly amount of torches. We can load up on food in the muskeg. Clothing is fine. Meds are fine. I don't need birch bark. Match good. Got some backup coal. Yeah, let's go. Is that the... Oh, yeah, the melter on the woodwright bow is one you find in HRV. I think that's one of the bows you find, and then there's the sport bow, which you can find in a couple locations. Other than that, you got the basic survival bow, and if you get the recipe, there's also the bushcraft bow, which you get from the trader, and you actually make from birch saplings instead of maple. I have not actually made it myself, but I hear it's pretty solid. And thank you for the 7-stream streak there, Goofy. And thank you earlier to Will for the 5-stream streak. Appreciate you both.
Water.
Oh, relax. I got a whole mess of water just waiting for you there, but here. We just got a little commute to do. You found one of the special bows in FA. Yeah, that'll be that's the sport bow. The sport bow is the one that spawns in FA. It's by the plane crash, or it's at the Drift Island cabin, I believe. The special bows, you never really bother getting them because they're just good for one time. Yeah, and that is. They're a little extra effort, but especially if you're early game and you're like lower archery skill, they can be helpful because they weigh a little more, but they degrade slower. and so that counteracts the extra condition lost when you're at lower archery level skill. And let's see, yeah. There's the one bow inside, and then there might be the one out on the porch. Okay, it is early, but these are not ideal travel conditions, if I'm honest. Almost feels like it wants to do something, and that would just be rude. Okay, we will eat before we drink. There we go. What's that leave us? A third? Okay. I'll grab a couple. Alrighty. Now that Astrid is hydrated, let's go. And I'm okay leaving a little lighter food-wise because I know we had a big stash of cooked meat in the musk egg and water, and obviously there are also cattails to avail ourselves of as we go. I think one's more likely, but you get both every time you're at FA, but you're not go, and that's fair. And that's kind of the deal for all the far territories. Like if you really kind of need a reason to head out that far. And like the tails is usually the reason, but if you're not doing that, why? You like to clear most of the standard maps before you go to the far territory, and that's fair. And yeah, because we've seen the far territory is not a place to be unprepared. So you got extended blizzards, electro fog, ample timbies if you're in Sundered Pass, and just plus long distances to go, and a concerning lack of food if you're in the Zoc because you cannot feast on the many local wolves. Yeah, it's not a great region to spawn in. That's part of the reason I was so clued in to Dunn's, can I lope 10 days in the Sundered Pass series. I really wanted him to do well there. Because I've grown to like that zone. But I also accept there's a lot of reasons not to like it. Are we gonna blizzard? It feels like we're gonna blizzard, but it could just be the paranoia talking. You never tried spawning there? Yeah, I mean, people have done it for the challenge. I myself would not recommend it, but to each their own. It's just in general, in general it's pretty cold there, and if you don't know where you're going, especially in the airfield, where everything is way farther away than it seems, if you're not real sure where you're going, you can have a very rough time. Thought about doing it once to get the camera right away. Yeah, that's not ideal. There's yeah, and I'm still not. I am. I know. Speaking of done, I'm very much, in lockstep with him on befuddlement on why the camera is in Sundered Pass and only Sundered Pass. It's like, why make something that is just a fun, nice to have that doesn't change gameplay at all and stick it where they did? It seems needlessly needlessly difficult. I don't know if they're trying to incentivize people to go to Sundered Pass where who they might otherwise not. But even then, you get in, you grab the camera, and you leave never to return. What have you really incentivized? And once you know how to find it, why would you even engage with the rest of the zone? Except again for the tail. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. The woodworking tools. I'm okay with them making you work a little bit harder for that, because those you can actually, you can open up some new gameplay type things in addition to interior decorating. So, hey, concerned Martian, good to see you. How was your self holiday? Melanie, you like the game, but you're not one to like to put yourself in really difficult situations, and that's fair. Yeah, it's. But and the nice thing is you can tune the difficulty thusly and just vibe. And one of the things I love about this community is people will let you just vibe without shaming you for not playing on the super ultra mega hardest difficulty possible. Martin, you like to add you'd like the camera to be in a random spawn in any house in the world. I mean, that would make more sense than where it is, because it's a thing just like a normal person would have. Not that scientists don't also like taking photos, but it was good you were refreshed. Nice, nice. Glad to hear that. Yeah, it's good to start off the year well rested, and you're bright eyed and bushy tailed and whatnot. Game, I know what you're trying to do. Every time I go over that trestle, you play the dramatic music. Stop it. You like the lower difficulties and no one takes the mickey. Yeah, and it's. I mean, we've had folks out there on stream playing Pilgrim or Voyager, and folks are there and chatting and having a good time. You play Sucker for the longest time, Meldron. You went to Gunloper. I think that's the perfect difficulty for you. Nice. Although you wish there were more wolves. Well, I believe Yeah, you can tune the if you're doing custom settings, you can turn the wolf spawn rate to very high, which they're on in Stalker. So if you want Loper settings with Stalker wolves, you can have that. If you're going to go that, or there's a simpler way to do that. If you don't want to mess with the custom settings, just play Misery. That's got Loper weather, Loper loot, and Stalker wolves, and a few other things. You finished one book and it has less than 100 pages left. Nice. What? Oh, what were you reading? If you don't mind sharing, of course. Beating the at least meeting and then surpassing by one, last year's book count is one of the goals I set for myself. Call it a resolution if you will, but it's just something I would like to do, not should. We're not doing should statements. I don't want Andromacos to come looking for me, but if I can, need you read one? No, I read the same number of books I did last year plus one. So do myself one better. Although some of the ones I want to read are like real chonkers, so I may cheat slightly and judge myself on page count rather than number of books. Just some crappy mass-written romances. Here we have about books, but the world is miserable. Yeah, and some you don't have to always be eating your literary broccoli. Sometimes you want candy, and as long as the candy isn't the whole of your diet, what's the problem? Ray finished 56 last year. Wow, that's better than a book a week. And this year, you're trying for 60. Woo. Well, yeah, big ups to you. My number was not close to that. Goofy, you're reading Nexus by Yuval Noah Harari. The name sounds familiar. I can't quite place. I remember. Well, I think I remember some less than complimentary stuff about him, but I might also be confusing him with someone else. I do that sometimes. Okay, no birch bark, huh? Oh, boo. Why can't you just read Brain Game? I mean, you can. I mean, you're a grown ass woman. You're not in school. Just read whatever you want. You did 89 in 24. Oh, jeez. I think what my thing there was that you don't have an obligation to read quote unquote important books. And that's me, who and coming from me, who's is largely a nonfiction reader. So that might be partially influencing me as well. You haven't had easy access to your books over a decade. Oh, hang on. I got Melderon scrolled off there. You can't stay comfortable to read for long, but at least you're sitting at a desk. You need to have a computer in front of me. Can you? I mean, it depends if you have or the e-reader or if you prefer physical. But I know they have Kindle for like laptops and such, like Kindle for PC. Goofy. Okay, Sapiens. Sapiens. Thank you, Goofy. That's the one that I've heard getting some heat for, possibly, shoddy scholarship. Hey, Andrea. Happy New Year to you as well. Welcome in. Welcome in. So good to see you. I hope the trip back from Ottawa was uneventful. Your ADHD gets you distracted if you have a computer. Okay, that's fair. Um, could you? And I mean, don't read this as me pushing you to give Amazon money, because I mean, even though we're all on Twitch, but um, would like a standalone Kindle maybe gonna be a compromise there, where you have a thing that's not a computer, but you can have easy access to your books. Actually, let me do this real quick because I know Andrea is back streaming as well.
An excuse to wear bobby doos on top of my booby doos. I think you meant booby doos in the first place, but I like bobby doos too. Bobby doos and bobby don'ts.
It was hairy but uneventful. Okay, we take those. We'll take that. You would go to a library to read, but they don't have nearly as many books these days, almost entirely computers. Well, I would say if you know specifically what you want, you can usually get stuff off an interlibrary loan. So if the particular library you're at doesn't have it, you can ask and say, "Hey, do you know somewhere I can get, X book?" And more often than not, they can, because librarians are wizards like that. Am I gonna engage with you two? Well, not you apparently. And you're gonna freaking run too. Okay. Everybody tells yeah, because like libraries keep track. They don't keep track. They say this person checked out these books, but they do say, oh, someone checked out a book, or this the more activity they show, it strengthens their argument for when politicians come in and try to shut them down or cut their funding. You gotta take off, Rain? No worries. Appreciate you hanging out. Oh, you have a good day, and we'll see you around. Say your Spotify premium is your stupidest young person money waste? Well, I mean, there's worse ways to spend your money, I suppose. If you try to go to the library and take out books, well, good. And even if you don't end up reading them, well, but if you have them there, then it's one less excuse not to, right? It's like it's removing that one extra bit of friction. Okay. Just checking for the moose. It wasn't here yesterday, but you never know. But I think we're all right. Yeah, and I would say like I've gone to my local library branch a handful of times, but yet even if you don't necessarily uh, get books there, libraries have a bunch of services. Like they've got like computers for folks who don't have them at home. Um, I know I've used their printer several times because I don't have one here. All right, I'm just going to ignore you. Yeah, it's just afternoon and we're about half fatigue. I would at the very least like to get to Broken Railroad before sundown. If we can get into the tunnel, even better, because we do have our bedroll. We do, right? Yep. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we'll make a pit stop at Poacher's because there's food and water there, and then we should be able to make the rest of the trip. Library is a lot in in grade school. High school, you use their library. After you finish high school, you're like, okay. And that's right. Yeah, when in school, it does make it much easier because everything's right there where you are. Goofy, your uni library doesn't have computers. No, that's a little peculiar. Unless like they have a dedicated computer lab, somewhere nearby. If unis even still have those things. You just sleep, but your sleep quality is shocking. You're so tired. Oh no, oh no, Martian. Do you do you need a holiday from your holiday? Because I know that feeling. You have a ton of computer labs. Okay, well then maybe that's why they didn't feel the need to put any in the library. Hey, Zert, welcome in. Hope your weekend's going well. We're just here following the tracks from coastal all the way to Transfer Pass, and then we'll take a quick turn off to the airfield. Oh yeah, I might grab a couple cattails while we're oot scooting a boot here. It's probably going out drinking afterwards, then getting up early for church and having a million people to talk to. Yeah, that'll probably have something to do with it as well. I hear crows out of my right ear, but that could be for yeah. There's a corpse back there. So I'm keeping an eye out for our friend Kool-Aid Bear, who we let live last time we saw him, so it's around here somewhere. But much like those wolves back there, I kind of want to just keep moving. We have much distance to travel, and well, quite a bit of time to do so actually. But I would like to get there in a timely fashion. There we go. You 1.8. Here I'll take that. We'll drop a. Actually, you know what? No, I won't. Just move. Just keep moving. Good, good. Once you have a flare gun, you hunt every bear you come across. Fair? And then I'll do to getting cookie 5 as level as possible. Yeah, those are. Oh, are you? Which one are? You're not. Are you Kool-Aid Bear or are you? Are you the bear whose house is over there? I can't tell. And you know what? I'm not in the mood to deal with this right now. So we're just gonna live on opposite sides of the tracks. You like having little food stashes? Yeah, and that's kind of the way I want to. I want to have like the whole world set up eventually. I like having little, like one place in each zone where I know if I need food or water or repair materials, I go there. Okay, yes, thank you, Bear Crows. I'm well aware there's a bear in the neighborhood. You're a little slow on the uptake there. Okay, 15 cattails is fine. We can grab some more in Transfer Pass if we need. Okay, Zert, like the main thing for today's to do is we're going to the airfield to get Barb's rifle. The last firearm variant we don't have in one spot. And then once we haul that back to the Quonset, I'll take a few photos. And then I think we'll get started making, we'll make the furniture workbench first. And then we'll make the crafting bench. Okay, nope, there's our other bear. And then we can get making the cured meat, and then get to making the pemmican. I gotta say, walking past 2 bears and not taking a single shot at them, it feels odd. Because I'm still, deprogramming myself after the Furry Than Silence tournament where, you see a high value target, you start shooting. But we were on the clock then. And now we have our time horizon is different. Let's see. We have torches. I think we've got a full lantern. So we should be able to make it through the tunnel just fine without using any flares. And we do. I think a couple trades ago, we finally convinced Sutherland to part with the pemmican recipe. Thought you guys have to work on it. You'll be lurking. No worries, Meldron. Appreciate the lurk. Okay. I am of two minds. Do we stop in the the maintenance yard? Because there should be food there. Pretty sure there is. And spend the night there, or do we push on into the the far range branch line, and then sleep somewhere in the tunnel? I don't know. Might partially depend on what kind of reception we get when we get past the little blockage here, and when we get close to the turnoff. Yep, come on, Astrid. You got this. You don't got this. Let's try that again. There you go. And you just come up around the outside, nice and smooth, and there we go. And that whole detour down and about is purely optional. Oh, there we go. Let's. But yeah, I am still. Let's see. Okay, we got one doggo there. There we go. This is not ideal terrain. All these bumps and hills and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, we could just walk the dog, but we'll take care of this real quick. And I know I was making a big deal yesterday about, making sure to collect hides and guts and, making the most of our kills. But yeah, one, it's a wolf, and two, I'm on the clock. We don't lack for wolf hides. Yes, Senorita Car. How open am I talking about a real world event? I mean, probably depends on the event, but our policy here is if uh, everyone here is a grown-ass adult. So I'm okay with treating people like adults as long as they behave as such. I think we're just gonna go. What do I think about? I assume that's Venezuela. It's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. It is. I mean, it's interesting you ask because I actually spent part of yesterday and a good chunk of today putting together writing something for my workplace on that very issue. And I just sat down. Okay, I'll just get all my thoughts down, and whatever happens, happens. And next thing I know, I've got like 1,200 words. Entirely too long, but at least I did the thing. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's obviously illegal, like in every sense of the word. It breaks domestic law, it breaks international law, and it just morally reprehensible. Where do we? Yeah, it's fine. Is it fine? Is it fine? Maybe it's not fine. Yeah, and to be fair, like it would. That's just a first draft. You know the old saying, like, I didn't have time to write a short letter, so I wrote a long one instead? It's basically that. So, if it was to actually, run in any kind of form, it would be, shaved down considerably. But it's just, yeah, it's, well, in truth, it's no different than what Russia and Putin tried to do to Ukraine in February 2002. A quick incursion, a decapitation strike, and then just occupy and a nice clean occupation. But problem is, they went and got Maduro and his wife apparently, and killed 40 people in the process, according to the New York Times, and did nothing else. Like they just left. Like the rest of the power structure is still there. The vice president took over immediately, and I don't. Did they just assume that they're going to roll over and say, "Yeah, yes, Mr. President"? It's bizarre. Because it's like we're going to run Venezuela now. It's like you're not even there. You don't even go here. It's like, what are you gonna occupy a country via Zoom call? It's. I mean, yeah, it's classic imperialism. It's also just shockingly lazy. Like they aren't even trying. And from the sound of it, like so that lady who won the Nobel Peace Prize for being the Venezuelan opposition, and she was like sucking up to Trump and talking him up, and then he comes out and says, "Nah, she's not respected," and then just totally sidelines all the Venezuelan opposition, despite their fervent hopes that Trump would come to their rescue. Yeah, I mean, you could it sounds dismissive, but there's a very real chance there was no plan beyond get Maduro. And okay, and then I'll say my conspiratorial side, the fact that they got Maduro and his wife and didn't touch anything else kind of makes it sound like it was an inside job. Like, the rest of the people in the government said, you can have Maduro and we'll take it from there. Now, I have no evidence of that, but it just something ain't right.